Hey, Wyoming, silent majority. Welcome, I'm not the boss. For today, we're going to be going over the setting and world for your story or a potential theme. Something else I was just thinking about. Your setting can be like fantasy or sci-fi, both. You can have like horror, um, what do they call those? Mysteries. I was gonna say brain scratchers, but like that's just a term we use. There's that, but it's like world building. Maybe your world, the universe, is not like a it's like a J.R.R. Tolkien. God, spelling. I can't believe I spelled that correctly. Like Lord of the Rings style thing where you have like gods and stuff, like gods and elven magic are these centerpiece of the world. The idea here is that something's caught your attention in this world that you're gonna hyper focus on. There's also another aspect to this. We have themes. These could be like heroism as a theme in your world. A lot of people want to be heroes for no reason. Villains are combatants of these heroes, etc. We could have freedom fighters in this thing as well. I just came up with another one, and this is gonna be weird. Towns. There is one hyper exquisite example of this. A tokusatsu by the name of Kamen Rider, but specifically W. In Kamen Rider W, I'm not gonna shut up about this. The we do have main characters in the double Kamen Riders that we get. The pair 2-in-1 rider, but then we also get a third addition to it. We also get um the female. She's like this necessary evil. She's like a push and tug for the narrative and to spur the main character down his like path to his hard-boiled detectiving. But in all of it, there is one thing that's ever present: the city. In the city, at one point, I think it's one of the movies, they the city lifts up them as the Kamen Rider and embellishes it with a new power. The city becomes an entity in your narrative. The city is a character. That that is some new level stuff, and it helps that the city mascots their town, their city with like a mascot, like a little windmill thing. It's kind of brilliant. Me, I'm peeking my mic, kinda. I'm hyper focusing on it, but the main structure of this one is that the the city the city fudge city as a character character. I have not seen another story tackle a city as a character before. If anyone else here knows of an excellent example of a city becoming a character of sorts, like we have all these, I think we call it gajinkas, where we take something and we make it an anime character. So we have like Earth Chan, and I'm like, Okay, you went too far already, internet. The internet's gone too far with just straight up gidging us. Kind of nuts. Um, like a city as a character. That that was so beautiful. I'm not gonna stop gushing about the Kamen W city. The fact that the music can also spawn like a setting or a theme. So we also have another music in here. As I am thinking about the Kamen Rider theme again. Kamen Rider W W's WBX Extreme theme is the combination of jazz and like I think it's like rock. It is so good. Music could play a core theme. Music could be part of your setting. It could be like in like a futuristic like in a sci-fi world where everything is based on music and your music gives you power. Like that could be an interesting setting. Music gives power to the individuals who master it best. Others can have small portions of that power. Those who believe in their music more gain a better would gain more momentum and thus overtake those who truly embodied that archetype, but then it is overthrown by that protagonist. Sounds like a neat idea. That really does sound like a neat idea. And if you've been watching this far into the video, please consider subscribing. I'm looking forward to hitting 100 subscribers and keeping my content at a plateauish pace because I want to be having people coming to my streams. I'm trying both Twitch and YouTube, so please also come to my Twitch. Everything here is in the description. Um, but yeah, that this is me just talking and putting stuff on a Word document that I'm just doing for fun. What the hell? Okay, my thing froze for a sec. Froze for a sec. What else we got for like themes? Oh my god, so much world building can happen. Like you could just build the world itself. Like design the world. It's like designing a person, but you like draw out the map to the world, and you're like, so here's Jeresidin, here is Manifesto, here is Sonico, and they're all like places in a world. These could be like cities or towns or maybe little different patches of earth in your world. And you're like, I don't know, but Jeresidin, a lot of random carnage happens here, and it's unexplained why. And now you have a setting, you have a piece of something. You might, and when I see, let's say, Dresden, right? You, I can imagine walking into this town and it's like lawless, like I'd imagine walking in there and I immediately get robbed, or I would walk in there and I see something I shouldn't have, or someone's got a gun to my head, or maybe they have a gun to my head. They don't know I know martial arts, and I just like disarm them, take their gun, empty out their bullets, and beat the shit out of them. I don't know. Like I'm not the protagonist in the story. This is just me, kind of says I imagine myself in this position, coming into a lawless city. It's kind of something you do. It's like method acting. I method act my characters. I method act my villains. I'm method impose. I do all kinds of stuff. I write. I become the character. I write. I am these actions. I write. Therefore, I become the story. So let's just say under, and like I'm just calling it like that. Maybe it's with a U. And it's like, oh, um, it's a lawless city, and it's like, oftentimes one of my big questions here is like, I ask is like, how do I reacting here in this city, or what would, like, I often see, um, like, you, okay, so this is a little bit of a tangent, but you know, like, creators, not creators, you often hear of like fanfics, and it's like, well, I'm in this story, and I'm a Mary Sue. The protagonist loves me, even though he's a psychotic murder like hobo. Like the guy's psycho, and he's like lost his mind, and he just likes killing things. If he's this vicious, cold-blooded predator, what's stopping him from killing you? Oh, but I'm the writer, so he's not gonna hurt me. It's like, really? Are you really certain that a vicious, a vicious, cold-blooded predator is not gonna be out to kill you on sight? But he has a moral compass. Nah, 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 nah. Vicious, cold-blooded predator out for blood for various reasons is not gonna straight up kill you because you're looked at him funny. Just because you're the writer doesn't mean you can warp the story to suit your needs. You warp the story around the needs of your character, not because now you exist. I put myself in my stories. I do. I really do. And I straight up admit I do not break the fourth wall to my characters. I tell them straight up, "Oh, for me, I've dreamt this before." I like skirt around the idea of breaking the fourth wall. I always do this. It's so I can keep the serenity of my story to my characters. In other words, it's like yeah, you're a part of my imagination. It's like, well, if you treated them like a whole character this time, then their whole worldview shatters. Like it becomes this thing. So if in this town where it's lawless, people get murdered on a day by day basis, people are robbed of a lot of things. Why is it different when you walk in? I have no idea what that was. My dad's probably working on something. That's the core here. You walk into a lawless city. Suddenly, the people are gonna shower you with all the goodies. Really? What makes you so special? What, you happen to write this fiction, and now the world is moving again, and the people are glad you're here? Why are they glad you're here? This place is lawless. Why all of a sudden there's law and a little bit of order when you walk the F in? Don't. In fact, that'll be a thing. I'm gonna put it here now. Sit here. Patience. Just saying. I know this is what a lot of people think about being in charge of a world and essentially playing God, but there's a certain mysteriousness to a place that has had a history and stuff that you can toy with. I've been fiddling with an idea with a unified Japan for a while, unified Asia for a while now. I've been fiddling with this idea, and it's actually kind of sound for the world it's in. Look up Howling Magic Dragon for an idea of that. I need to actually expand that world one more time. But yeah, and here's one thing, expanding your world. This is um what do they call it? Yeah, world building. World building is probably the most natural thing for me. World build, to have a universe where things happen. So if we take a look at my current story, the Legacy of Magic, it's known very early on that that um there are planets in this. We have all these things here. Oh, corrupt. Because you corrupted to the core. We have all these things, so then it's like, well, how do you expand that? Well, no, let's do this. In this mixed sci-fi world, we start on a single planet. We name this planet Rock. Funnily enough, when I told this to my friend, he's like, I think I mentioned this on stream. He's like, oh, what, you're gonna give me rock-based earth powers? And I'm like, oh no, that's just the name of the planet. And he's like, why? Rock music. There's a huge music motif. Motifs. I'm a flipping rocket ship. uh, in this big sci-fi fantasy world, we start on planet Rock. So how do you expand it? Well, just like I said, 20 in total. And then it's like, well, how do you expand more on this world? How do you expand on the technology? Uh, Feature gadgetry. We also have uh, spellcasting machine spells. Now, you don't know why yet, why these are things, but then you slowly unveil over time a consistent basis. Smaller things are untraceable. Therefore, magic doesn't detect small technologies, meaning a surgeon who can pilot a drone, a very tiny drone that can have like a scalpel and like a little thing for incisions and whatever the surgeons do, could instantly lobotomize any like AI machine robo spellcaster with precision beyond belief. In fact, that's going to be a character now. Dr. Mr. Professor, Mr. MK. Um, it, it works. This can work for the story now. I just gave this guy a random name right now because I'm going to generate one later, but right now template names are important. Keep templates down. If you say like Principal of Rock, no, what was his name? The President of Rock. It's like being the Principal of Funk, you know? But the point I'm trying to make here is it's the President of Rock. It's like, well, that's not the name of the person. He's gotta have a name. Here's the thing, though. Here's the beauty part of this. He could just be the Principal of Rock. He doesn't really need to have a full given name. Not until you deem it necessary. Also, one thing I like doing with like characters that I'm writing, at least for my scripts, I really like just if they haven't revealed their full name yet, or at least a audible version of their name has been said by a character, and they have a pseudonym, I either give them this or not the weirdest thing in the world, just something to keep in mind. I at least do this with scripts. I don't actually write full books. I find the way a lot of them are written to be pretty jarring. With this, I actually know who's talking. So I took our previous characters. We had. Did I name this character? Oh, I have Douchebag McGee and Mr. Periwinkle paired with this person. For right now, let's give her a temp name like Lana. So right now we can have We can have Lana, Mr. Periwinkle. There we go. And Mr. Douchebag. And Douche Canoe. We have a party here. We have something. Lana stumble. Mr. Periwinkle, who can disguise himself as a cat or is a cat, can hide in alleyways. Lana would walk in, get mugged, have to fend for herself for a bit before finding Mr. Periwinkle in an alleyway, before being found out by Mr. Douche Canoe, and thus more shit ensues in the streets of Dresden. And then if we extrapolate that further, we get a lot more done. More stuff can happen. The laws of your world are written. If nothing is written yet, and you want to make something new happen, you can make it happen. Just address it down the line. It's just that easy. And then it's easy to expand and expand and expand and exposit to your reader. It gets that much easier. Also, one thing. I'm just going to add this here before I close this out. Running out of ideas. Or running out of stuff to borrow from. You're never out of stuff to borrow from just so long as you're consistent. I was active on Wattpad for a bit before the whole controversy with Wattpad. Apparently, they were trying to take all the fanfics and just publish them without like consent, and I'm like, well, that's a no. I do have what's it called? Campfire on here. I'd rather trust Campfire right now. No one's telling me otherwise. Go to Campfire or your Word document or ChatGPT. Seriously. Just don't use it for stories. Use it to inspire you for stories or get you to generate stuff quickly. Generate something, change it up entirely, chuck it into your story. Just don't copy it verbatim. Teachers are catching on to it. I'm pretty sure publishers are going to catch on to it. I hope they're catching on to it. I don't want to be going to Barnes and Noble and finding The Ways I Guard My Cat by Ali Rosnin, and it's just an AI script in front of me. Don't do that. But for this, for your setting, your motifs, your worlds, I can't stress Kamen Rider W enough. It's got some movies. I'm pretty sure. Now, I don't know if I'm allowed to put this, but there are websites, if you look hard enough, to find that. You can catch me streaming on Saturdays, between past like around 1:15 ish. I'll start a stream, and I won't end until like 6 p.m. My time. Uh, I'll I'll put a time code in my description and in my comments. I think that's everything. Just me building this up. Honestly, I'm having a lot of fun with this series. It's not doing well, but you know what? That doesn't matter to me. I'm actually enjoying this. I have zero idea why, but I am. Remember, never stop imaginating. Till next time. Okay? Ciao.